Today I'm in Trimdon Village, about 40 minutes south of Newcastle, where Tom Heilbron trains about 28 greyhounds. He's built his house and an excellent training facility and kennels here, and he has strong ambitions to train top-class greyhounds.
We've got 28 in the moment, we've got space for 35, so we'll take a few more. Facilities-wise, we were a blank canvas. You've seen the place. We were a blank canvas 2.5 years ago, literally a blank field. So everything's been built from scratch. We're starting to put extra bits and pieces in all the time. We put the gallop in last year, which is probably the most valuable stretch of land that we've got now. Bringing dogs back from injury, keeping dogs fit, that sort of thing. I'd like to put a swimming pool, and that's one thing I've said about putting in. But facilities-wise, we've got 17, 18 concrete paddocks, 4 or 5 large grass paddocks. Just try to give them the best we can give them. So, moving forward, there's still plenty of improvements to make, but we're just on with it at the moment. Just going to keep improving all the time. And
there is one other very large paddock here that will soon be used for the dogs to have a good old run about in as well.
Yeah, that's the next one on the list. So we've got a big field there. It's a 3-acre field that we just finished fencing off at the weekend. We'll chicken wire obviously all the sides so the dogs can't get out, and then just let them play in there. Put a couple of footballs and things they like in there, let 3 or 4 of them out and just let them be dogs. So I'm a big believer in letting, greyhounds aren't just race dogs, they're pets at the end of the day, so let them be pets. And I think happy dogs run better. I know it's the old saying, but it does, they ride. So that's the next thing on the list.
You live on site here, and I have to say the facilities, to be honest, you built from scratch. They couldn't be any better. Is that something that's important to you?
Yeah, massively. I mean, the last place I had was basically I had a kennel in my back garden in my old house, and I always dreamt of, I'd love to put this in, I'd love to put that in. And when we got the chance to buy the stable that we've made in the house, it was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. So I've invested a lot of money and time in the place. Took a lot of recommendations from people of what we do need, what we don't need, and try to put into practice. So I think we're 2.5 years down the line, we're getting there now, but still plenty of work to do. Just need a couple of good dogs to be able to give us a hand playing for it.
And that's what you're looking for, isn't it? Because you do like a nice calibre of dog. We've got a few here that you've shown us today, a couple that you're hoping will be open races, and some graders that our viewers can follow. Let's talk first of all about Buzz the Tower. Tell us about him, because you're hoping he could be something special.
Yeah, he's a dog owned by my dad and a guy called Tosh Middleton. Buzz the Tower the name came from Top Gun, so they were going to call him Top Gun originally, couldn't get the name, but he's come with a nice reputation. He got himself in all sorts of trouble first time around Newcastle, but showed a little bit of class in his next trial, winning easily. He'd done a 29.49. First time in a handicap wasn't the type of race he needed. Got all sorts of trouble, but I think he'll be a nice dog. He's only September 18, so he'll come on a lot. He's a big dog. He's got scope for a lot of improvement. So I think once he settles into here and settles into the routine, he could be nice.
He's a bit crazy as well, and you say it's like he's got an aerial on his head.
He has, yeah. If you look at the top of his head, it looks like an aerial. So hopefully it's going to direct him through miss some of the traffic in his races. But he's got a big point on top of his head, so we're calling it his aerial for now.
It wasn't ideal that his first race for you was in a handicap, but you think that if our viewers see him in an A4, basically put your money down? Yeah,
I'd like to think he's good enough to win that. He's come over with a good reputation. He wasn't, a crazy expensive dog, but he wasn't cheap. But if he gets it right, I think he'll be a nice dog, and I think he's got scope for improvement. He's well bred. I like the droopy exotic dogs. I think that he's starting to produce some good stuff. So hopefully he's one of the good ones. And
another newbie you've got in here is FOURBET Queens, who again you're hoping could turn into something nice. But you've only had her a couple of days. What do you know?
Yeah, we've only had her in 2 days. A guy called Dane Talon actually bought her. Basically, she's just come with a good reputation from the contact. We'd like to think that she's going to come over and hopefully be top grade, at least maybe a little bit more. But she's got a lot of strengthening up to do. She'll have 4 or 5 sprints to start with, and then we'll build on from there.
We've also seen Skip's BLITZ, who you think is potentially the fastest dog in your kennel, but a frustrating one for you.
Yeah, he's the bane of my life, I'll be honest. He's potentially the fastest dog I think I've ever had. What he's shown me in trial, we put him around Sunderland first time out. He done 27.24. We lined him up for a good race, and before the puppy competition he bumped Droopy's reel. We actually thought he had half a chance that night, and we didn't get to see how good he was. After 15 yards he stopped, seeing someone in the crowd, and then he's had problem after problem since then. 6 months off the track, come back and done a 28.72 first time round Newcastle, so it shows the class of the dog. But again, he's got a problem, so it's whether or not he comes right. If he ever comes right, I think he'll be a really, really, really good dog. But if we ever see his true potential, I don't know.
Obviously you wouldn't race him unless he was right, so if the viewers see him in a race, like, you think, you know, he's one to follow, really, money wise.
Yeah, absolutely. If you know, if he's right, and we took him in Nottingham for a maiden and everything went wrong for him, but if he gets a bit of luck in racing, then he's going to be a really fast dog. But it's a case of whether or not we ever get him right.
Got another one called RACECOURSE who in the right sort of grade is also a good bet for viewers.
Yeah, I think he's a good RPTV dog. He'll give 110% every time he runs. He's had a lot of traffic problems, and you know, he looked as if he was going to win a race 3 or 4 weeks ago by a stretch, and got pulled down at the third bend. But in his right grade, he'll win races, and he's definitely one to watch. He'll give 100% every time he runs.
Of course, many people will know the Heilbron name from your dad owning New in YOLO. That's probably the best dog that's been in your family. And Leah's Joy, who we've seen today, is out of New in YOLO, and it's a nice story behind her. Tell us who owns her.
Yeah, obviously he's bred out New in YOLO, but the guy who owns him is called Les Bridges. He's got a half share with John Brennan, and Les actually sold me my first ever dog in 2004 called Dash. So we've stayed in contact for all these years, and Les had a few dogs with us, and she's a nice little bitch. Been running over 480. It's definitely too far for her. She's won over 480, but good sectionals. I think sprint will be her game. She could be a decent sprinter in time, but just nice to have dogs for Les after all these years.
We've seen the Angel of the North jacket in your kennels. You won a Category 2 competition, but you're really keen, aren't you, to compete in Category 1s and get a better class of dog here?
Yeah, we've, like I say, the second ever season we won the Angel of the North. That sort of gave me the confidence to think, you know, we can have a go now. We've got a Group 1 final, we've got the Puppy Derby final. We've never won one, but I'd love to get the type of dog to, you know, compete. And we'll travel anywhere if we've got the right dog. That's the thing. We've been down to Crayford, obviously not with our kennel, but we've been down to Crayford over the years for the dog. You've got half a chance to win the Open with, so we're not afraid to travel, but you just got to have the right dog. You know, it's pointless travelling with graders, isn't it, at the end of the day?
And you've got the facilities here to train a nice dog well, haven't you?
I'd like to think so, yeah. Like I say, we put everything I can give them, I'll give them. We feed them the best. We try to exercise them the best, give them the best facilities, the best place to live. You know, and if you get the good dogs, I'd like to think we've got the ability to bring it out and win some competitions, hopefully.